I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's webcast. I want to read to you a simple little verse from Daniel chapter 12, which says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." One of the most interesting things about the prophecies of the end time is that knowledge would increase. I want you to know that knowledge is exploding today. I wear a telephone on my belt. Can you imagine such a thing? We live in a fantastic age of color TV and, hey, widescreen webcasts, huh? How about that? I have a friend with me today who is an inventor. His name is Harold Curtis. Harold, good to see you today.
How are you, Brother Church? Good to see you.
And I want you to know that we go back many, many years. When I first moved to Oklahoma City, left the pastorate, and came to produce a television program and put it out across America, we set up in my garage. Our studio was in our garage.
Yes,
now, can you imagine what kind of studio we have now?
Yes.
Huh? Isn't this neat? And so I had one camera, and it was a push rod camera. Boy, has technology exploded since then. Isn't that amazing? Harold, do you remember back in those days, you watched us from Chickasha, Oklahoma, where you lived, and you called me up one day, and you said, I want to take you to lunch.
Yes, I remember that.
Isn't that amazing?
In fact,
he came, and I said, okay. It was on a Saturday,
I think it was a Saturday, yes.
And you and your wife came over to our house and picked me up, took me out to eat, and sit down right there, just move the plates aside. He pulls out his checkbook and writes out a donation of $10,000. This is the man. First big donation we got, that I recall, on our television program, and we were just starting out. I had sold my house, and I was using the money from the sale of my house to fund our television program. That was a step of faith. Just step out by faith. And Harold is the man who helped to fund this ministry. In fact, the desk I have in my office, Harold gave it to us. Isn't that amazing? The cameras that we had back in the early days, you know, that old pushrod camera, Harold bought us some new cameras. Isn't that amazing? So you've been a real blessing to this ministry over the years. I want to thank you for it. Now I want to tell you that Harold is an inventor. And as an inventor, he has recently invented the Flex Clip. I'll show it to you right here. This is the Flex Clip. It mounts on your belt, and it holds your cell phone. These are for smartphones. Harold, tell us how you got the idea for this.
Right. Well, you know, I've got this saying, and I'm certainly no Einstein for sure, but there's a saying that most inventions are not inspiration, but perspiration. And usually an invention starts off with a need. You identify a need and try to figure out better solutions for that. Well, when I began to analyze the phone holster industry, I found that historically most of these phone holsters have a real rigid joint, and that is the basic cause of these holsters failing. They don't last very long, and as a result, you know, many people just get frustrated and throw them away, and most people carry some of these smartphones in their pocket. So, you know, early on I realized that we need to have something that gets rid of that joint. And in the phone, I'm sure you can see here that it actually has a flex joint. It literally moves on your body. Mm-hmm. And of course that flex joint eliminates the failures that you would have there. But at the same time, it allows the phone to basically move with your body. When you sit, it sits. Mm-hmm. When you move, it moves. And even for heavy people like me, it doesn't compress into my body. Yeah. And one of the features I think that many, many people really like about it is the fact that when they get a call, they no longer have to remove the phone from the holster. They simply can lift it up, see if they want to take the call, and if not, just lay it back down. Don't even have to remove it from the holster by the church.
Now Harold's an inventor. He's invented a lot of things, and he's made several fortunes over his lifetime. This is a gadget. I love gadgets. I gotta have gadgets. There's no gadget I can't pass up. You know what I mean? There's no gadget I can pass up. So anyway, I used to carry this on my belt, and it just was so awkward all the time. Sat down, it gouges into me, And so I started putting it in my pocket. And I had looked for years for something on my belt that would work. This works. Now here's what I want to tell you. Harold, of course, like I said, he's one of the